coming up, we're reacting to Ten Hag getting sacked.
A manager like that who could ignite something from within the players, a bit of explosion, a bit of something to play each Saturday. A manager like that could really suit them.
We debate whether Van Dijk is the greatest centre-back in Premier League history.
Him in 2018-19 when he finished second in the Ballon d'Or. And many people think he was kind of robbed by Messi that year.
And we decide which player was the biggest menace when they returned to play against their former club. You love Chelsea that much. You know what I mean? Don't put them to the sword and then be like, sorry. Now, we all know these football chats get out of hand and get a bit crazy, so we've brought in a ref to keep us in check, but also keep us to time, and they will decide who the player of the pod is. Now, my two guests are very special guests. My first guest is a good friend of mine. He was the former Lad Bible guy. He's a Brighton fan, which is a bit annoying me, but he's a cool guy. Maz Mirzadeh, how you doing, brother? You good?
Thank you very much for having me on. I'm excited.
Now, this next guy, I'm gassed to have him because he's what we call a European football expert. Like, the ball knowledge is crazy. He's a Sky Sports producer and presenter. You guys know him as Dougie Critchley. How you doing, brother? You good?
I always feel like that's a very generous introduction, but I hope I'll live up to it today.
Yeah, I just want to. How did you become an expert like that, though?
So I used to work for a YouTube channel called Football Daily, and I was kind of put in charge of the European stuff that we did. So we had a channel called Euro Football Daily, which put out a video a day on that. So on the back of that, did a lot of research, watched a lot of games, and just kind of went from there. I've always been interested in football outside the Premier League. I think because my team, Sunderland, are notoriously quite rubbish.
Yeah,
I've always looked for a little bit of joy elsewhere as well.
Doing all right now, though.
What's your European team then? To pick one.
I don't really have any, but I think Inter Milan's probably my closest allegiance. But I try and stay quite neutral about the whole thing. Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. No, trust me, that's why I support Palace. It's very, get me. I just feel like we're just always gonna be in the middle somewhere. So when we lose, it's calm. When we win, it's fine. You get me?
You just stay in.
You're neutral every game.
Is that any way to live, though?
No, it is. Trust me, it's peaceful. It's very peaceful. All right, so we're going to introduce the ref. Nieve, how you doing? You okay?
Yeah, good, thank you.
You sure?
Yeah, good.
I got the Italian jumper just in case and give me some sort of
And I've got the
leeway.
ref fashion.
You're looking dashing.
The black and white stripe.
So Nieve's going to basically tell you guys what her role is, and then we'll start this segment. So
Yeah, so I'm basically just a referee. Do you know what I mean? So I've got a yellow card, I've got a red card, and I'm just going to keep control and make sure that you guys don't drift into bias, talk over each other, all that sort of stuff, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel very intimidated right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, she does have.
You gave me the referee stare, and I was just like, whoa.
If you don't give me a reason, I won't find a reason.
I promise I won't.
Unless your name is Andrew Mensah, but she will always find a
She
reason.
said she was out to get you earlier.
She said it. You said, I'm glad you noticed that. Thank you very much. First segment we're going to talk about is look out for the gaffer. So managers you want to see back in the Premier League. Obviously, the news of Ten Hag has been... I feel like everyone saw it coming, but we didn't see it coming at this point. Do you know what I mean? Quickly, what's your take on him? Is it a managerial problem at United? Is it something bigger? Because they've had so many managers since Ferguson, it's just never seemed to work out. What would you guys say the problem is happening there?
Yeah, I'd say it's clearly been a combination of factors over the last 10, 11 years. You know, the ownership structure, did they invest enough in the team when Sir Alex was even leaving? I think the squad that he won his final Premier League title with probably was just through a sheer force of personality and leadership that kind of got him over the line. There was a lot of players that weren't really Man United standard. And then a succession of poor managerial appointments, falling out with key players. In Mourinho's case, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the guy for the long term? They've tried every kind of different manager as well. They've tried the manager with international pedigree in Van Gaal. They've tried the serial winner in Mourinho. They've tried the next big thing in Ten Hag. But at the moment, I think it's fair to say that Ten Hag's project has completely fallen apart, and I wasn't surprised by the decision to get rid of him at all.
Yeah, and I think as well with Ten Hag, his recruitment has been really poor. I think for like when he's come in, he's tried to bring his own players, and I think he signed what?
Yeah, the Anthony
Ajax
signing,
team?
I would never get it, innit?
Awful.
Is it the worst signing in Premier League history?
I'd say it's up there.
Got to be right up there. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anyone worse. I mean, the players that are more expensive, like Grealish, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. I mean, Enzo Fernandez hasn't been great recently, but no one's comparable to Anthony.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think his recruitment's been terrible. He's always just gone back to Ajax, I feel like. And it's also as well his excuses recently. He's always talking about his Carabao Cup wins, and he's always talking about how he's doing so well as a Man United manager. But I feel like the levels at Man United are so much higher than he's ever had before. Especially at Ajax, you know, it's great to win their Eredivisie, but I feel like it's a completely different beast in the Premier League as well.
Goal difference across his entire time in charge was 11. which is nuts, across 2 and a bit seasons.
Yeah.
And City's in that time was close to 150. So they're not only just way behind the best, but they're also being caught up by Brighton, Villa, Newcastle, clubs like that. Like Man United just aren't anywhere near it.
I know, because when I was in school, United was like United. Now it's just like, if I was a United fan now, at my era, my age, I just feel so sorry for them, because you've seen, it's like seeing your dad, being your dad in your life that's been there, and then he leaves when you're 15. You might
had enough fun growing up.
Yeah,
I don't feel sorry for them at all.
Yeah. You know what I mean? All right, so who would you like to see in the Prem? Maybe not necessarily to replace Ten Hag, but just a manager you want to see back. I personally, I want to see Mourinho back. I just think he's just absolute box office. Yeah. He's the kind of guy I like in football, innit? Where I think we need more of. We need more like.
What's his level now in the Prem?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what his level is. I don't think he goes back to like a top team to win things. But I just want him there for the post-match interviews.
I think he said, didn't he, in his press conference after the game in Europa League, he said that he wants to come back to like a lower league sort of Premier League side. So I don't think he knows that he's not a top 6 manager. I think he knows that. So I think he wants to go back to maybe being a bottom half side. But I don't know who that is.
Everton?
I think he's still capable of winning with a top side.
Well,
but it's just about the bigger picture of that club might not look at him and think of a project with him anymore.
He's a 3-year man, isn't it? Win as much as I can and now. But
Does he win trophies anymore?
Well, he's having a difficult time in Turkey. I think Galatasaray are absolutely miles ahead of them. I think Besiktas are ahead of them as well.
But he won with Roma.
He won with Roma, but then by the end, his spell there was pretty miserable. I think he was very good at reconnecting with the fans, though. I think Roma's attendances went through the roof.
Yeah.
But he's still he's so mischievous, you know, man.
Yeah,
red
man.
Cards,
I do love that.
He's just a character. I thought he was awesome as a Sky pundit.
It's just a good time, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you might not have it for long, but when you have him, it's a good time. Dougie, give me who you want to.
Well, I didn't have this guy in mind for replacing Ten Hag, because we were kind of preparing for this before that news dropped. But I think a manager that might be worth looking at for Premier League clubs is Adi Hutter, who's in charge of Monaco. He took them from 6th to 2nd last year. And prior to this weekend where they lost to Nice, they were joint top of Ligue 1 as well. And they were unbeaten prior to this weekend, and then they lost to Nice. But they were one of only 2 sides to beat Barcelona this season, along with Osasuna in the Champions League. They're yet to lose in the Champions League so far this season. They've got 2 wins and a draw. He's done great work at Eintracht Frankfurt in the past as well, got them to Europa League semi-final, lost big players every year like Sepp Haller, Luka Jovic, etc. Gladbach wasn't so successful, but cut his teeth at RB Salzburg as won a league and cup double there, and plays the sort of style of football that I think could really work in the Premier League. Like, it's very solid, but also energises and increases the numbers of the attacking players as well. He's very solid 3-4-3. You look at the work of like Minamino, who's gone there recently, and I think he's taken a squad that isn't at the level of PSG, and so far this season has got them right up there as well. So he's maximised a lot of players' abilities and has had a range of experiences, and is still just 53, 54. So if, you know, a West Ham were to get rid of a Lopetegui, if Thomas Frank maybe gets in the mix for a Man United job, maybe we'd see him go to a middle Premier League club first, even though he's got a pretty good gig at Monaco. So maybe he'd be reluctant to leave.
Dougie got different.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
The breakdown was crazy.
I just got lost. I
was even going to ask. I was even going to ask you, what team should he go to? You already had that ready. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
I'm not going to be able to follow that.
Go on, give me.
Do you know what? I was going to go for the hipster answer, but he's taken that from me and smashed it out the park. So I'm going to go for Xabi Alonso. I know it's a bit of a cop.
Wow.
I know it's a cop out, but I feel like Xabi Alonso, what he did at Leverkusen was amazing. Obviously winning the league, the German Cup, as well as getting to the Europa League final as well. Obviously not winning it, but I think what he's proven there to be able to get that out of the team, and from a team being dominated by Bayern Munich most seasons, Bayern Munich absolutely walking away with the league, to be able to compete with them first of all, and then to win the league, I feel like it's so impressive.
Also the unbeaten thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
unbeaten every.
Do you know what I would love for him to bring the Premier League? Is that last minute winner or the last minute equaliser he was so renowned for at Leverkusen last season. I remember just checking my notification, like, Leverkusen 1-0 down. Yep, 1-0.
Happened again.
Yep, it's happened again, 2-1. So yeah, that kind of drama and excitement would be amazing in the Premier League as well. And I just feel like he's so young still. Also the links with Liverpool as well will be good for the Premier League. I just think, it's a bit of a cop-out, but I think he'd be a great manager and a good addition to the...
Obviously, Liverpool got Arnie now, so if he came in, who would you see him going to?
Obviously, it has to be, without speaking the obvious and doing a Michael Owen, it has to be a top 4 team, in my opinion. But, yeah, you're right. He's not going to go to Man City. Potentially, will Pep leaving? Is that a potential one?
Sure.
Will his style of play suit? Potentially. I don't know. Who else we got there? We've got Liverpool.
If you was Xabi Alonso, would you pick Real Madrid or Manchester City if there was a opening post Pep.
Can't lie. If I was Alonso,
Real
I
Madrid.
have to go to Real Madrid.
Yeah,
I think that whoever you are, if Real Madrid come, cool and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just see if you could be a legend.
Yeah.
You know, just see. You could
But
flop.
also, if he did join Man City, he's also joining when Chiquipo Gerestein, their sporting director, is also stepping down this summer as well. If it was next summer, so that's a huge structural change above you. And also Pep, you can't really top what Pep's done.
Yeah, you got to go into someone.
it
You got to
feels
go
like-
City
But
after
Real
the
Madrid,
guys
yeah.
after Pep.
But Real Madrid, though, Carlo Ancelotti, are you going to be able to follow his
Well,
steps?
it looks like this
It's
year
quite
they're going to
still, I
finish
think.
second to Barcelona. I mean, it's very early days, but it looks like they are the second best
True.
team in La Liga. So at least there's the narrative of, well, let's
Bringing
try
them
and make
back,
Mbappe work a little bit better than it has so far. Let's win the league back from
Yeah.
Barcelona. I think Real Madrid would be a real
Alright,
good move for him.
All right, Nieve, let's get your take because I know you're itching.
Yeah, I was gonna, not literally, I was gonna throw a
That's
few
good,
managers at you. Because I always think with the Premier League, if you are the bottom half, look no further than what's in this country already. I mean, you won't like what I'm about to say. I think he should stay at Sunderland.
Oh,
I'm not saying someone should steal him, but Régis Lebris, look at what he's doing at Sunderland. He's adapted to he understands the nature of the Championship like that. And the intensity of like the Championship, even League One, across the entire board, the fitness levels. Ian Everts Bolton really struggled with the fitness levels and got found out in the early parts of the season. It shows how strong that is. So Régis Lebris is a really interesting one. I think Chris Davis at Birmingham City, because Birmingham City, they control from the middle with Park, Sung-ho and Iwata, and they play technically like they could just translate that to the Premier League straight away, but then they've got that grit of the divisions. So they're so pragmatic managers in the EFL because they've got so much to contend with, Ruben Sales as well at Reading. So why would you not go for them? Because they're sort of used to the English game, they've been influenced by the English game, instead of trying to get a hipster coach. But if we were to sort of throw in a name that could maybe be an option for Manchester United in the future, I would think Sebastian Hunes at Stuttgart. And it would be a slight risk in a similar sense of Ange to Tottenham, in that it's quite high-risk football that Stuttgart play. When he came to Stuttgart, they were in a relegation fight, takes them up to second place, above Bayern. But the way in which he did that, how quickly the players bought into what he was doing, it's not the results that draw me to him, because it's quite a high-risk method of play that you might concede 5 goals, score 5 goals, but the consistency against Bundesliga teams. But then I watched Stuttgart versus Juventus, Real Madrid, Bayern, Dortmund, top teams where they have such authority of the application of what he wants them to do. So they press really high, and the goal is to push the opposition to the left, push the opposition to the right, cage them in, steal the ball, and go and score a goal. And the application and relationship between the players when they're doing this, it's so consistent, and the success rate of stopping the ball being played through the middle, it's players like Bellingham that you need to actually break this and find a midfield position. So it takes an awful lot to beat him. And I always think a sign that players are bought into what a manager is saying and he's a good educator is those relationships between certain areas of the pitch. So you look at Mittelstadt and Leveling on the left, the 3 midfielders. There's pressing triggers. There was the midfielder Milo. He spotted one of the other players. He knew he was about to set a pressing trigger and be successful, and he started the run forward so they could outnumber on the transition, because they know each other's game so well. There was incidents where Vanyeman and Mittelstadt, the fullbacks, make that extra run to cause confusion, and you can see the other players know he's about to do that, so they set into their position. So they know each other's game because they understand why they're doing what they're doing. And I think a team like Manchester United, who are getting back to a standard they want to be, they need to see the fans' future. They need to see progression, and that the players have bought into something, because it might not lead to success straight away. So they need to see that there could be success. So I think a manager like that, who could ignite something from within the players, a bit of explosion, a bit of something to play each Saturday, a manager like that could really suit them.
Garassi went to Dortmund,
Exactly.
Anton went to Dortmund as well. Ito went to Bayern Munich as well, and they've had some big results. Like they thrashed Dortmund a few weeks ago. They, as you said, beat Juventus. They nearly beat Real Madrid in the first.
Even
match
I was going to
as well.
say, even the teams they've not beaten in that first half against Real Madrid, they pinned Real Madrid back
Really
with
impressive.
the press.
Love that. Ref, we need player of the round.
I think Dougie, because that was a
Oh,
great
serious, bro. That was-
explanation.
yeah.
Great.
I think-
handling
I want to
as
spud you as well.
That was very
That was
serious.
serious.
When he was breaking, I said, "Yeah, you got this."
Do you know, I had to follow that as well. I was
2
like,
seconds.
cheers.
I was like, "You got
set
this,
me
bro.
up.
You got this."
Yeah, you set me up.
All right, guys. Next segment is scariest player. Obviously, Halloween weekend, trying to keep it in theme. I'm not sure if you guys celebrate Halloween, but I just keep it in my house and give.
I'm always trick-or-treating.
Still.
There's no age limit on that.
Yeah.
No
So
height limit either.
I want you guys to know scariest player, right? Now you can interpret this however you want. It could be scariest player like this guy's just gonna Thierry Henry us and 4-0, or a guy you wouldn't want to be up against. So if I go first, I would say the scariest player of me all time is Vinnie Jones. I just watched Lock, Stock, Smoking Barrel for the first time. That guy was a footballer. I couldn't believe. Yeah, I'm looking like, he's really a gangster. That's what I really thought. But yeah, I just think someone like him just on you every game, just kicking you, grabbing
Dark
you.
arts.
Yeah, the dark arts to another level. It's actually criminal, really. If we, you know what I'm saying, on the pitch, like I just think facing him, he's tall, he's big, he's scary, and he's in gangster films. I just think, yeah, he's my guy. Who I think is the scariest guy. But yeah,
That famous photo of him like gripping Gaz.
Gaza in it. Yeah.
You don't want that.
You do not want that, bro. Can you imagine that for 90 minutes?
But he knew what he was doing, though. He was smart
The
about it.
whole Wimbledon team were kind of dark
Yeah.
art,
Yeah.
crazy gang, kind of dark art professionals.
Well, with VAR in play now, we don't get away with it anymore.
That's
would
why we
they?
got to get rid of VAR, man.
Just bring that
back. We've lost the whole team.
He's a big campaigner. Yeah.
Give me yours.
I went with the player that always kind of intimidated me, just even watching him at home, in Gennaro Gattuso. Absolutely
Gattuso,
nut
yeah.
job. I feel like I don't like players that I can't predict what they're going to do. So a little bit of sort of a Gattuso sort of fear factor. Just looked like a real hothead. Had that thick hair, big beard, like wild eyes. I mean, he throttled the assistant coach of Spurs, Joe Jordan.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Around the sort of 2010 period. I'd also throw Erik Cantona in there as well, a bit of a hothead. And then Pepe as well. I feel like Pepe would just swing boots at players.
What was the game when he got like a 15-game ban for he booted the guy on the floor? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Just kicked him for no reason. It was out of the blue.
Completely lost it. So that's the sort of player that I was trying to.
So okay, if you had to, out of three, to be fair, it's good choices. But if you had to pick one,
I'll go with Gattuso.
Gattuso, just
Yeah, throttling an assistant coach.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad. That's just like no fear.
Yeah.
It's like who's this animal out of the cage sort of thing. Maz, give me yours.
I sort of interpret it as current players, but I'm going to go one classic. So Diego Costa. I feel like he always just. I don't want to, bog him down because I'm not the best looker in the world, but he wasn't the best looker in the world. So I think that added to the whole intimidation.
I know what
factor.
you mean, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He had that sort of look about him that you didn't want to really get in his face. And also I feel like he was always up for a fight.
That's why I respected Jordan Henderson. I remember there was an incident with him and Henderson.
Is he a hard man, is he?
And then Henderson just like stood up to him and then like Costa just backed off, and then I was like, yeah, okay, Henderson, that guy. Like, you wouldn't expect it. Yeah, he had that aura, literally. You wouldn't expect it, but he literally backs off of him.
Yeah.
There's that story about Diego Costa arriving at Chelsea and then he like pulls out John Terry. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I've definitely heard it. Pulls out John Terry in his first training session and is like, we go to war together. And Terry's like, okay.
Whatever you
follow
say.
you.
Yeah, because I actually watched the interview with Terry, and he was saying when he first met him, he was a super nice guy, super polite. And then that happened, and it's like, oh, who's this? Sort of thing.
And then my honourable mention is John Duran when you see him on the sidelines. That is a scary sight. When you see him warming up, coming on the pitch,
Yeah.
get ready.
Took out on that
Cause-
chair the other day as well.
Yeah, he was fuming.
It's also interesting, like, because another way I looked at this question was a player that's just hot. So I remember like watching like Suarez in his prime, and it was just like it's just a scary guy. And he's also like a bit ratty. Do you know what I mean? Like he's on to you. Like he's not just like a great technical player. He's just like any way he can win, he's gonna win. So that stuff kind of scares me because it kind of feels like, if you watch someone like Haaland, if he's not on it, then it's not coming from here. Whereas Suarez always felt like it can come anywhere at any time. It could be a brilliance. It could be a ratty thing. It could be a ricochet.
Or a bite in the shoulder.
It could be anywhere he could pop up and score. So that he's like a fearful player. When I watched him, I just thought a bit like uneasy. Like he's just gonna do a weird thing. All right, ref. What we saying? Who's your scariest player? The guy you don't want to come up against.
The lap.
Oh,
Just such mass hysteria, didn't it?
the
Yeah,
throw-ins.
football clubs pushing the advertising boards in so he couldn't have a run up, not providing him with
Kicking out the
towels.
corner.
Yeah,
missing the
Boaz
guy
Myhill.
ball.
Boaz
Yeah,
Myhill
the
for Hull, yeah.
Goalkeeper, I can't remember his name. But,
Boaz Myhill.
yeah. And he was like panicking and just booted it out of the corner. That's scary. He's scared.
Yeah, that is to make a throw. He basically made it because you guys go, okay, I might not be able to kick ball, but if I got a long throw, I might play in the Premier League sort of thing. But
He's
yeah,
got scary genetics as well. I mean,
Yeah.
his son Liam is absolutely nailing it.
yeah.
He looks really, really good.
Playing around.
Yeah, I like your answer of Vinnie Jones, Andrew. I think.
Come
very
on.
good to
I thought I was going to win it then.
He was scary.
Set me up.
Come on. All right, guys, this next segment, you've seen it before. It's ref rules. So we're going to get a situation that probably wouldn't happen in the Premier League, but Sunday League, this is our level, in it, so we need to be prepared for it. And then basically we're going to take the mind of the ref. So we're going to play the situation, then we have to decide what we think we would do if we were the ref. Now, the answer doesn't have to be correct to the letter of the law, but you're the ref, just give your reason. This is basically court, innit? You don't have to be, just give your reason, and if you've got enough evidence, you can walk free. That's how I look at it. Ref, over to you.
Yeah, this is a question from Peter Banks.
A player's boot falls off, they continue to play and score. Does the goal stand?
If I'm the ref, it has to, because
play on.
that's actually sick. I might give him 2 goals. So his boot falls
Wait,
off.
whose boot falls off?
He said who player scores.
Player who
Yeah.
scores. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yeah. I mean, even if it was the goalkeeper or the defender, I think you just crack on, don't you?
Unless he's flung his boot towards the keeper or something, or
Yeah, unless
towards
he's used it as like an
yeah, like a decoy.
Yeah.
That's
Do you know what I mean?
that's even better.
He's thrown it one way and then
Pure trolling.
yeah, no, that is good to be fair. That's some skill as well to be able to do that.
I think this question is a trick one. I think he's not going to give the goal.
Yeah, because why ask?
Because why would you ask? It just seems so
It just
stupid
seems
to ask.
obvious. But
Yeah.
I swear, did not Haaland score a goal a few years ago when his hairband?
Yeah, it's against Arsenal,
His
yeah,
boot
yeah.
had fallen off as well, but maybe not. But I feel like I've seen
That goal
this
against
before.
Arsenal, his hair,
Yeah.
and he just scored.
It looks like a proper Viking. And I'm pretty sure he's bootless as well, but maybe I've just added that in.
Yeah.
A lot of
the
footballers
scenario.
wear shoes, football boots that are like too small for them, so it's like really tight
Tight.
and wrapped round, so they've got better control. Is that maybe why you think boots don't fall off? Because if you think it's quite hard to tie laces, isn't it?
If I'm being real, I don't think about that. I can't. I've never thought while boots. I just think maybe I don't know.
Impressive, right?
Yeah.
They're very good at tying them.
Yeah. Well, footballers, that's a good
They've
question.
had a bit of practice.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we're gonna go to the break quick, and then we'll find out what the answer is. Yes, guys, welcome back. So we've got Maz and Dougie here with us. Before the break, we was talking about a scenario that the ref has given us, that if a player's boot comes off and then he scores, should the goal stand? We're all in agreement that the goal should stand.
Yep.
Ref, are you also in agreement?
Yeah, I agree.
Play on.
All right, cool. So ref, let's see what this actual ref, the proper ref, is saying.
Yes, if a player's footwear or shin guard is lost accidentally, they must replace it no later than when the ball next goes out of play.
That's unclear.
Yeah,
it's still
I feel like I didn't explain that properly.
Net. Is
Yeah.
that out of play? And then do they have to do that before the
just
ball
go
goes in the net?
Then yeah, I think it counts.
No, he's saying
Go
it
and put your
counts,
shoe
yeah.
back on.
But basically, if it went out for a throw and your shoe's is still off, then it wouldn't count.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So the next time it goes out of play, so it would still count
Got you.
because
Yeah,
it
I mean,
would be out
you'd
of
think
play.
if it goes out for a throw-in, they're going to take
Yeah,
the
that's
put
what
the boot back on. They're not going to be like, all right, I'll just leave it.
But what if it's
I'll
like
take my
a
other
quick
one off
throw
as
in it?
well.
We don't even need a player around for that one. That was just like I think we all
All chipped
we
in.
all chipped in. All right, next segment. This is a big one in my group chat right now. It's actually a massive one. We had a massive argument after the game on Sunday. I looked at my phone, 500 messages. So it's about Van Dijk, innit? So will Van Dijk be considered the greatest centre-back of all time? I think all Liverpool fans just think so. And I think some neutral fans that are into classy players, that they like Van Dijk. But I don't know. I don't think it's close. I don't think he's in the top 3.
Is he on a? You know when people do the Mount Rushmore, the 4. If you were to do just centre backs only,
Oh,
would
No,
he make-
I wouldn't. I don't think he would make my Mount Rushmore. He'll make like
Hey.
I think
he's on the bench.
Premier League or in all-time history?
Premier League.
No, Premier League. No, in all time. It's like that. It's like-
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah,
for coming.
no,
mate.
I don't think he's in a 4 because I think
Really?
I think
Could-
he's
could-
just in.
Could you
top
guys
4.
be able to rattle off an instinctive 4?
Yeah.
if I go 4, I go 3. I would go Terry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rio,
Yeah.
and Stam.
Really? I think Stan played long enough.
Yeah, but we say that, but like it was just
I think Vidic has got to be above Stam. If
okay.
we're,
No,
if we're
but
talking
you
that
can go
kind
Vidic.
of,
Yeah, you can go
yeah.
Vidic.
I
But
think
obviously it's
Tony
European,
Adams has
isn't it?
got an argument in there as well.
Who said?
Who?
Tony Adams.
Tony Adams.
That's bare man.
There is a lot.
Sol Campbell.
Sol Campbell's probably got an argument as well.
Do you know who's on my 4?
Don't
'Cause Van
say
Dijk's on my
don't say
4
anyone
as well.
from Bolton.
Yeah, well. No, my Rushmore of centre-backs is Rio Ferdinand, John Terry, Van Dijk and Vincent Kompany.
No,
Oh, yeah. I'll put Company over Van Dijk.
Yeah.
I would actually put Company over Van Dijk. I think Van Dijk is like... There was also an era, like, maybe like 2 years ago, where I felt like he was defending with aura, and he wasn't really defending.
What was that stat? He hasn't been dribbled
Is that what
past.
you think, or is that just what you've seen on Twitter?
No. Honestly, I'll give you an example already. There's a game, United versus Liverpool, yeah, where Sancho scores and he sits Milner down. And then, like, he sits Milner down, and it's like for 5 seconds, he's just waiting, and Van Dijk has just got his arms behind his back, as if there's like a force field around him. I'm like, bro, go and tackle him.
He does lack
and then he just
sometimes.
and he just put it in the bottom corner. So yeah, no, I watched that thinking like, why is he not? It's almost like I'm Van Dijk.
But do you remember that crazy stat the Liverpool fans kept going on about? He hadn't been beaten, 1-on-1 in like for such a how long was it? Like
it was like
ridiculous.
over a year.
Yeah, over a year.
Yeah.
And people just kept talking about it. I was like, but is that actually indicative of how good he actually is in terms of? Of course, it's a very important skill as being a centre back to not be able to be beaten by your man. But they're like, it was like the one thing they kept latching onto, and I'm like, what other attributes does he bring to the table?
There's a couple of things that count against him, and one of them is actually trophies. Weirdly enough.
Yeah, that's what. That's
You're
another
getting up
thing.
there with Rio and John Terry. I think Rio won 6 Premier League titles. I think John Terry won 5. Van Dijk's just got the 1 Premier League title. And yes, he was playing in an era where Pep Guardiola has completely ruined this league in terms of its competitiveness. But just 1 Premier League title, 1 Champions League, lost 2 finals, 1 FA Cup.
Got to
It's
be
not really on the same
careful, though,
level.
using that as an indicator, because you could throw some centre backs in that have won a lot more than
No,
Van
but
Dijk
we're not.
that
But
won.
I do
Sure,
feel.
but if you're looking for the small things that separate the very best, I
Yeah.
think trophies come into it. I'd also say, has he played enough games as well? He's played less Premier League games than Marcus Rashford, who is 5 years younger than him. There have been huge, he was really injured in his...
27 when he signed for Liverpool.
Yeah, he was
signed late.
Oh,
But
he was at
he's
Saints
had 3
before,
years
though.
at Saints
He was at
before
Saints
that.
before, though, wasn't he?
I think he's been amazing, but I find it confusing that some Liverpool fans or just general Premier League fans can be like, he's the clear number 1. For me, he's in the conversation. I think I'd have
Yeah,
my
of
top
course.
4.
You have to have that. He's definitely in the convo, but yeah, that's my thing. He's clear. He can't be number 1. I just don't think you could win 1.
I think in terms of as an individual, though, I think what it is that makes him stand out is he's got bits of Terry, bits of Rio Ferdinand, bits of Vincent Kompany, and then also he's got his own incredible ball qualities. I mean, this season, maybe off the ball, he's not been his finest season, but on the ball, some of the passes he's been making.
Yeah, but this is what I would argue, because people go like, I feel like there's like when we look at players who are all rounded, yeah, we give them a lot of credit for that. But I do feel that there's something in being great at what you do. Like Terry's just for me like a great defender. Do you know what I mean? I don't think because he doesn't play 30-yard balls into the front man, that takes away from him, because guys can do a lot, but they can do a lot at a certain level. Whereas like you got people like who are just great at this. Like Vidic is a great defender who wins everything in the air. Like, and because someone can do various things, I don't think.
But then in the
that
same
puts
way
them
that
thing-
you say Van Dijk's got maybe a weakness in terms of maybe intensity protecting his left back. Maybe that's the one aspect of his game that is probably not perfect. That's really minuscule. Do you not think? I think you really have to nitpick with Van Dijk to go against
also
it.
as well, his partners as well, alongside him as well. Like who's he played alongside of? Obviously, back in the day when you got Vidic and Ferdinand playing together, that's two
proper pairs.
Exactly.
Consistent.
Exactly. Whereas
Konate's great though.
Van Dijk,
he was amazing against.
Elevates every centre back he played with.
Yeah.
Even the fact that there was a season in the 18-19 season where we thought Matip was potentially better than Van Dijk that season. There's been times where we thought Konate's put in a better performance.
Gomez had a great year.
Yeah, and it's because they've got.
But I will say though, there is something about. It's like the same with Saliba and Gabriel. Yeah, there's something about when we see a centre back that feels lofty and cool and calm, that we give them all the props. But if you look at Arsenal, yeah, Gabriel has been as good as Saliba, but no one really talks about Gabriel because Saliba is the cool one. Yeah, he's sexier. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like Gabriel really defending. Do you know what I mean?
What I would say about Van Dijk as well, I think he's had the best individual season out of any of those players we've mentioned. Like him in 2018-19 when he finished second in the Ballon d'Or. And many people think he was kind of robbed by Messi that year. And look, Messi was amazing that year as well. But Van Dijk was insanely good for 2018-19. And actually, even a couple of years ago when he had that injury from, I think it was Jordan Pickford accidentally injured him. and he came back and it was a little bit slow for the first 6 months. And then actually the level he's been at in the last 12 months, I would say, he's kind of still at that kind of peak, maybe not quite at the same level as 2018-19, but the level he's still at now, I think he's been amazing. I just wouldn't have him as my definitive number one.
So who would you have as your number one, though? Because also I would
think
argue...
Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah, but I would argue on the flip side in favour of Van Dijk is I do feel that there is a legacy and like a... not. It's I won't think like a nostalgia kind of bias to like things are not. Because that's why I like Yap Stam. I just remember as a kid like watching him and this guy was just solid, innit? But do I really put Yap Stam over?
But that's the thing.
And I do, but maybe that's more like a nostalgia thing. Do you know?
Do you feel like because Van Dijk's still playing, we can't put him on the same pedestal as these greats? Because I think he's still got so much more to give. I think he's still got a few more years left.
Yeah, he'll play
at the top
much
level.
longer.
Yeah, so like once he retires, I think that's when maybe you appreciate playing.
And I think some people use it against him if he keeps playing for this long and only wins one Premier League.
Yeah.
And again, that's not really his fault. It's the team he's playing in. Do you know what I mean? But I do feel
think
like
it does come into it though.
It does. No,
I
it does.
think
It does.
sadly
If he was
it does.
trying to
But then even
separate
in some of the seasons they've not won the title, they've been at levels that have actually been better than
The teams that
title
win
winning
the teams,
teams in the
yeah.
past. So it's quite hard
Yeah,
to
it's
The
comment
level was
on that.
incredible, but I think it does count against players. Like I feel like Steven Gerrard, a lot of people wouldn't probably have him as number one because he's never won a Premier League title. Whether that's fair or not is another difference. But I kind of get your point about in a few years we'll probably reflect on particularly like Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, I think Salah as well.
It's hard to give it to them.
It's like right now when you're still in it and
Exactly,
every 3-4
Or even
games,
like people who are recent, like people like Silva, people don't really. But it's like when you look back in 10 years, you'll be like, oh, David Silva was. Yeah.
I think Van Dijk's a victim of the fact that we've got so much access to football now non-stop on social media that, every single aspect of his game is torn apart if he makes even what could be considered close to a mistake. And we forget that all these other top-class centre-backs, they will have all had games like that, but we don't look at those.
That is true. 'Cause
No, it's true.
when you look back, you look at the best. It's like with music, they're like, oh, the 80s was the best, but I'm sure there was a lot of garbage in the 80s.
Yeah.
You don't look back at the garbage, innit? You know what I mean? But when you're in
listen to the bangers,
when you're in the time, you have to put up with the garbage as well. Do you know what I mean? So cool. Let's do play it around.
How do I pick a player of the round for this?
I don't know. You're the ref. You do what you want.
Maz wins player of the round on the basis of pity because it takes us into 1-1-1. Everyone has 1 point going into the next round.
I did like you, but yeah.
This next segment is coming back to haunt you. I like the ghost today. Coming back to haunt you. So a player that's come back to their club and just terrorized. I think personally, it has to be Adebayor.
Oh, okay.
Running
Is that just the one game though when he ran the length
But
of the pitch?
think about what I'm saying. It is the one game, but
It was iconic.
they still think about it now. If you go in every Premier League celebration, everything, it's so iconic of a moment.
Max,
Arsenal fans can never live that down. That a man scored and ran all the 110 yards. That's a lot, you know. That's a lot, bro. And then celebrated in front of them.
Do you know how much-
You couldn't.
do you
know how much
and you couldn't, you couldn't do nothing about it.
Do you know how much hate you have to have in your heart to
do
run
that,
120 yards
Yeah.
across the
120
pitch?
Those fans as well, to be fair, they were chanting some not very nice things to him that entire game. So, I think fair play to
No, I do. I
respect it, yeah, I respect
you know
it.
me. I love
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying, I like people like Theo Walker is coming off. He does a 2-0. There's not a lot of energy involved. That's my point. This guy's running.
What I love about that as well, in the background of some of the photos, you can see like a steward's chair is on
Yeah,
the
the little
pitch.
stool,
So
yeah.
the steward got involved too and thought, I'm not having this.
It's actually such. You would be. I'm picturing myself being an Arsenal fan that day. A guy has ran that far. Like you'll be so angry, and you can't do nothing.
him getting
Yeah, closer. That's what I've been
gonna do
thinking
it.
the whole
He's gonna
time.
do it.
Where's he
He's actually
going?
gonna do it.
And it's funny because you got guys trying to chase after him, and they're like, "Oh no!"
Do you reckon it was premeditated or do you reckon it was on the spot?
No, I reckon
He must have
I
premeditated.
reckon he's gone. I'm gonna celebrate in front of the fans. He's scored,
But on the
and then he goes,
yeah.
"Where are they? Oh, they're there." And then he's just
I've
gone,
got
and
to
he's gone. Like, you know what? I've gone already. I might as well keep going.
And the knee slide as well. The knee slide.
Yeah.
Tops it off. Chef's kiss on that one.
All right, Maz, what's yours? Play.
Mine is, as a Brighton fan, there's only one option here. Danny Welbeck
That's
against Man United.
Yeah.
What a guy. 6 goals, 1 assist in 16 games. So that speaks for itself. And of
He also
course,
scored against United. for Arsenal.
Yeah, for Arsenal as well. Yeah. So sorry. Yeah. So this is for Arsenal and Brighton as
And
well,
he
and
celebrated.
Watford, I think.
Oh, I love
as well.
that.
Yeah.
Don't know if he scored for them. But yeah, 6 goals, 1 assist against Man United, of course, unbelievable. Like, just to see anything happen to Man United is quite nice, right?
What a hero.
We can all agree.
But do
We can all
you
agree.
think? Do you think because he wasn't a world beater at United that they don't really care that much?
No.
You know, like when Tevez was playing for City, that felt hard.
No, I agree. In terms of I don't think there's any animosity towards Danny Welbeck.
Yeah.
But I think they respect him and they appreciate how good he is.
But you need
Some
animosity.
United fans, even though many years later, are like, actually, maybe we should
Yeah.
get Danny
Well,
Welbeck.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Some of
saying.
the strikers that have played for them, like Weghorst was playing like half a season up front for them. Like I think they could have done with
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck.
I mean, look at him now.
Yeah.
Look at him now. He's getting England shouts. Yeah, the guy's making.
But do you not feel like
resurgence.
the club has to have animosity in order for the haunting to be effective? There's a question.
That's a great question.
What do you mean?
I disagree.
You know what I mean?
though.
I
I think
feel
I think it still burns. If you had an ex-Palace player score against you, that would still burn a little bit.
Yeah,
Because
but if
you're thinking he could have been still at us. He could have scored for us. He could have.
Yeah, no, but I
guy.
remember a few seasons. Last season or the season before, Conor Gallagher was on loan,
Oh, that was a
and he
banger
come
as
back.
well.
He scored. He put one in the top corner in the last minute, and I didn't feel that crazy. It's like,
That was a lone player though.
Yeah.
Then I factored into
yeah.
it.
I was like, yeah, that's probably why. It was
Yeah.
just like, but my point is that it was last minute. It was a screamer. If there was a time for me to be
Angry,
devastated,
yeah.
it would have been then.
So what? He didn't hurt a little bit,
I was
even a
like-
tiny bit.
It hurt that we considered last minute.
I think what
You know what I mean?
what kind of hurt with Adebayor more as well was like City and Arsenal at that particular time were actually really close,
Close,
to the
yeah,
table,
table,
and
yeah.
actually City were stealing a lot of Arsenal's players. Like they took like Gael Clichy, they
Clichy.
took Adebayor, Nasri then
yeah.
went as well. So it felt like it was the kind of it wasn't a
The animosity
rivalry at the
was there,
top of the
yeah.
table, but it was a rivalry that was really growing at that time.
No, I'll give you that. In terms of emotion, definitely that moment of Adebayor was. I don't think it'll ever be topped. But with regards to longevity, I think Welbeck to be able to do it across many years and against his old club, I think.
So what's your take on players celebrating against their former club? I think
got to do it, man.
you have to.
Gotta do it.
Otherwise, don't score. That's my
Yeah.
thing.
It's
If you're upset,
Declan Rice.
no way.
Is there is context?
No
Like,
way.
I think generally speaking, I would say yes. However, there are certain circumstances when, let's say, you were a product of that other club and you've got a lot to thank that club.
Yeah,
I
so
can see
an
it.
example,
Like when
Lampard,
Lampard
yeah.
scored
Chelsea.
But Lampard, don't score then, bro.
No, you got to score.
Pull out.
happened.
Like,
Gotta
yeah,
score.
scuff it. Don't score if you love Chelsea that much. You know what I mean? Don't put them to the sword and then be like, sorry.
If you want, I think it's special. The fact that they just never celebrate, it takes away from how special it is when they don't celebrate. So I wish you would just celebrate if you don't really care.
Yeah.
Only don't celebrate if you genuinely care about that club.
Do you know what the perfect example for me was when Declan Rice and Jack Grealish scored against Ireland? Like, that was a prime time because you saw Jack Grealish celebrated, didn't care, and then Declan Rice went the whole respect.
It shouldn't really matter. Like Alex Iwobi scored against Everton at the weekend and
And he didn't
did this kind. It didn't celebrate, and then did this kind of smile thing and looked a bit sheepish. I'm like, man,
Just do it.
just do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're not. You didn't grow up an Everton fan. You're not from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Just get on with it, man.
I think that's really key. If you're like a diehard or you grew up supporting that club, I completely get it. That's like a respect thing. I as a fan would be annoyed if my sort of guy that's been grown up in that club and left, I'll be fuming. But if it wasn't, then I don't think there's any issue. I think you go out there, celebrate, do what you want.
Crack on.
Doogie,
Yeah,
give me a player coming back.
They're haunting. I went down a bit of a route. I actually looked at sort of players that have the best record against previous clubs in kind of history. And the player that I found is Marco Reus when he was at Dortmund. He came from Gladbach.
Gladbach, yeah.
Got 11 goals and 10 assists in 18 games against
crazy.
Gladbach.
I wonder how many of those he celebrated.
What? I mean, what an insane record.
Imagine just scoring them and he goes,
I've done it again.
Imagine if that's. I wonder if players purposely play their best football against former clubs just so they can have that respect moment.
Yeah.
Viral.
No, but there is something about it though, like because even if, like players that have had controversy like transfers like Figo, I just think, bro, even like when I look at him, I'm just thinking, bro, you've done it. You're Judas. You might as well go the whole way.
yeah.
Go the whole way,
Yeah, you know what I mean? You might as well go the whole way.
And they
But
don't
that's an
really
interesting.
Take your top off, start swinging it about.
Yeah. And also what you said, Ref, earlier about fans are horrible, innit? That's what another thing. Fans are they're booing you the whole game. They're booing you the whole game. You score and then they
100%.
go, yes, that wasn't
Give him a
respectful.
little shush.
It's like, yeah,
Calm down.
theatre, man. So I like,
I
yeah.
also think there's a bit of respect, to be honest, from the opposition fans. If they score against you and they celebrate, does anyone really remember, Alex Iwobi celebrated against us? I don't know why I'm having such a go against Iwobi. It could be anyone. But you know what I mean? Like, does anyone really remember they celebrated against us? Does anyone really care?
Yeah, no, not really.
Crack on.
Unless you're at the
Yeah.
That one you will remember.
Yeah. So wait, so what was the record again, though, Royce?
I think it was 11 goals and 10 assists in 18 games.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Against
an
his former
impressive
club.
That's a
stat.
violation.
Impressive.
So that's like, bro, relax. Ref, play it around.
Oh, I think Adebayor, that is just
Yeah.
such an iconic moment. Andrew played
I
around.
told you
Do
the
you know what it is?
Italian jumper would work.
Pulled on the hearts.
Yeah.
You pulled it out though, to be fair.
But no, I think
That's a great
I just
moment.
think like as a moment, it's the one I always think about. So yeah, Nieve, ref, sorry, do a summary of what's going
So,
on.
going into the next round, we have got Dougie and Maz on 1 point and Andrew on 2 points.
No cards though.
No cards. I
No
think it's
cards.
been quite nice, hasn't it?
Been a clean affair.
It's been a clean affair, man.
What we like to see.
The little handshakes, you know. Yeah.
I'll get one as well. Yeah, let's go.
All right, so this next segment is called "If He Didn't Ball." So Diego Forlan is basically trying his trade at professional tennis. Give me a player. If he wasn't a baller, what sport would he be good at? Maz, you go first.
Adama Traore,
What's he doing though?
athletics.
Yeah, but wait.
100
Wait. You can't just say athletics, bro. If
100
you-
meters.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, 100 meters.
Just make it
So
short.
imagine that he's on a starting. Picture this, right? He's there. He's getting ready to, go. He's all oiled up. He's ready, and you look at him, you're thinking, this is mad.
But I don't think sprinting is the one though, because it's too big.
No,
I think.
Have you not seen him against
I
Kyle
think
Walker?
rugby-
He absolutely annihilated Kyle Walker.
Rugby winger.
football.
Yes, a
football's
rugby
good,
winger.
yeah.
Yeah, I think.
good. I don't think
If
it-
you look at the sprinters, they're lean.
True. No, but look at Noah Lyles. He's hench.
Mm-hmm.
He's
He
hench.
is kind of hench.
He is
though.
hench.
He is kind of. He's got the shoulders up
Yeah.
popping.
Do we
Yeah.
know what his 100-meter time? Because I feel like footballers,
Yeah, I should
they
have checked that.
have it, don't they?
I
Not
just,
the quickest in the
I was
Prem.
going to
Is
say,
he not?
isn't
Van der Ven?
Van der Ven the quickest?
Oh, Mickey Van der Ven, yeah, he is. I'm going to stick with it. Adama Traore, American football.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna say, Nani, gymnast. Yeah, gymnast. I just think you'll be flipping it away. Like I reckon, because I didn't really basically in the Olympics. I didn't really know what was going on with Simone Biles. I just watched it. She was just flipping, and then little pose. I think he could do that. Do you know what I mean? Couple of years training, flip, pose. Then it gets. I don't know how they do the pointing system, but it just seemed like she was flipping away, and I think Nani got that.
If I was Nani's manager, I would take him to one side and say, could you not do that?
Why?
Because I'd be so concerned. he'd
injured.
pick up
Do you know why? Do you know why? You would because you don't like people having fun, ref. You don't like.
Do you remember Lamano Lualua when he used to do it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Kazenga
Obafemi
Lualua.
Martins
Yeah,
as
Obafemi
well,
Martins. I used to love that.
But you see,
Obafemi,
you see,
yeah,
Femi Martin. It's like they wanted to do like Nani's flip was like a diagonal kind of
Twist and-
twist.
I
Yeah,
to Nani, can you not just do like a roly-poly?
yeah. Robbie Keane.
That's the same effect, but
Yeah,
yeah.
But yeah. I must say Nani,
Less injuries.
gymnast.
Yeah, nice.
I'm going with Joe Hart cricket, and it's because when he was
Wow.
growing up, he played for Worcestershire, which are not a top county in England, but a very good cricketer.
And you know
back
what's
in the day.
good?
He's a very good bowler.
Joe Hart looked like a cricketer.
He does, yeah. I
He
thought
looked
that's the
like
angle you were
a
going for.
yeah.
I remember in lockdown, Spurs put out like a tweet, I think it was, with a video of them playing in the gym, and he was like bowling sort of like real quick beamers down at Harry Kane.
Wow.
Wow.
So he's a bowler.
He's a bowler.
Not a batsman.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
You
interesting.
can do a bit of both, though.
Yeah,
Oh.
because I was thinking like Gareth Bale golf, but like every footballer in the world play golf. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Matty Cash is.
But Neville's are very good at cricket as well. Phil
they?
and
Yeah,
Gary.
yeah.
Very good cricketers.
That's another thing. It's like there's kind of players that you think would be great at loads of sports. Like Gary just seems like a sportsman.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
That annoying guy at school when he used to be good at every sport.
There's a guy in my school, Charlie Cole. That guy
I had that as well, yeah.
different at
Did he go
every.
pro?
Mad.
Anything?
He didn't go pro in nothing. I saw him the other day.
That's a waste.
Yeah, I saw him the other day just in a pub, bro. He got a bit tubby and that. I'm like, bro,
really?
he could play cricket. He was doing cross country.
How annoying was
Should
it, by
have
the way?
taken Nieve to the pub and just no.
Yeah.
I'll take that drink away from you. That's the yellow.
Honestly, he could do everything, and he just
But
never.
do you think that was because they were so good at so many sports?
There
They
are
just focused
people
on
like
one.
that, yeah. That
they
you
just
just
focus on
got to make a decision, innit?
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm doing boxing or I'm doing
Back
this,
yourself.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But I just think because he was just doing everything, and then like it's sports day, he used to clean up. I used to hate going sports day. I'm like, this guy's gonna win everything.
And now he's found the pub.
That's just like the local
World class pub.
You got the last laugh. Yeah.
I
Nieve, who you
think
going with?
Kai Havertz could be a swimmer because
Ooh,
he's
Linny.
tall,
Linny.
lean, broad shoulders, but comes in at the waist. He
Nice.
just looks like he's got.
He
a
does
big
look
body.
like
feet as well, I reckon.
yeah, he looks like a swimmer.
Michael
But do you know?
Phelps.
But do you know he can swim though?
Good point. That's an entry level requirement.
You can't just shove them in.
It's quite. I think all footballers should be learning how to swim because I think it's a great way to
Recover and stuff. Yeah. Apparently, yeah.
They also do their cold plunges, don't they, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I do. I do a little cold plunge.
Do you?
I don't. Yeah, it's overrated.
Overrated.
So it's mad. Yeah.
How long are you in there for?
I just jump in and
That's
jump
why.
out.
You're not getting the full benefits. You're not doing it properly.
Yeah, basically just jump in and up the ladder again. All right, Nieve, we need player of the round and then also do the honours of the player of the pod.
Okay, so Maz, I have been at you, haven't I?
Yeah,
this pod.
yeah.
So when you say Adama Traore, are you going to stick with athletics or are you going to transfer to American football?
I'm going to transfer to American football, please.
Player of
Judge.
the round goes to Maz.
Thank
Are you
That's
joking?
words.
Thank you.
Are
so
you
much.
are you absolutely
Let's go.
joking?
Let's go.
No.
Are you, I can't believe that. That is ridiculous. You literally
Say
gave.
one more word and you'll get a yellow
Yeah,
card.
send him
Anyway, guys,
Ref,
thanks
send
for
him off.
listening.
Send him off.
Actually, Eddie, no, I can't. Actually, no.
Oh,
it's a
no,
draw.
you don't win as
It's a
well.
draw.
Oh, such a shame.
Yeah, it's a draw.
That's
Me and
Do
Andrew-
like a shootout?
Yeah.
Like a.
The fact.
No, like the Turkish.
It just feels.
the
It
Turkish
just
guy at the
feels so
Olympics.
unjust. It just feels so unjust
Come on.
that you've got 2 and Dougie's got 1. Honestly.
He was
happy
MVP
with
in
it.
the early
I had
rounds,
a
but
great
he faded
time.
away, I feel like,
Yeah.
towards the end.
Because
Because basically, it went from being analysis to banter. So he got all the analysis, I got the banter, and that's where I come into my own.
No, I like that. But yeah, I want to say that's a assist from the ref for you there.
No, it was a very well judged refereeing performance.
After that final round, we've got Maz on 2, Dougie on 1, which does feel like a crime,
It's
It's a crime.
criminal.
Yeah, I
On
do feel
two.
bad.
I don't mind.
and I've got a special present for Andrew
What?
to finish the series. I'm actually still in red. I won't do a red because logistically you can't do the outro then. Yellow card to Andrew just to say goodbye.
What a finish.
Hey, laugh, guys. Sometimes you just can't win, innit? You just got. So who you giving player the pod to?
So actually, yes, so you could have less points and still win player of the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, ref.
I'm going to give player of the pod to Dougie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
well
thought no. Honestly,
well
I do think it was well deserved. I'm not
Yeah.
even mad that you
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you
Oh,
that you
thanks,
robbed us.
guys.
You
No,
got
you
bought
smashed it.
because you're like
Maybe
Messi.
consistency across the round.
No, that's
not
what I'm saying.
enough-
You're
not
like
enough
Messi, innit?
performances.
Like your performances are so good that we want to give the rounds to other people that are surprising us, basically.
Van Dijk coming second.
Yeah. All right, guys. Doogie, Maz, thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming
Maz.
on. I
Thanks
really
for having me.
appreciate it. Ref, you've been the ref as always. But thank you so much.
That's
guys.
mean,
That's
that's
no,
mean.
ref. No, the ref. Come on, let's give it up for the ref. Let's
Yeah,
give it
big
for
up,
the
big
ref.
up.
Great series.
Got you back.
Thank you, ref. Thank you so much, ref. Guys, thank you again for watching. Remember, you can catch us on every platform you can get your podcasts on, and make sure you check out the visuals on Sky Sports Premier League YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you on another series.